The State of Crypto is presented by Tron, connecting the world to the power of cryptocurrency.
So I'm very happy to introduce this very important topic. We have a historic day. Hong Kong's Securities and Futures Commission will begin accepting applications for crypto trading platform licenses on June 1st, which is today. Joining us to discuss is King Lung, Invest HK Head of Financial Services and FinTech. Welcome to the show, King. We're very happy to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes, today's a big day.
Yeah, it is a big day. Well, I guess the day already happened in Hong Kong. It's a big day here later in the US. But let's just break this down simply. So just to understand, a lot of our viewers are probably not following what's happening in Hong Kong that carefully, and also it is a little bit complicated. So if you could just explain to us as simply as possible, what is happening today on June 1st? What exactly is the change that is taking place today?
Well, simply put, three key takeaways. Now, Hong Kong has been really advocating the digital assets regulatory regime since the year 2018. So this is nothing new. However, the second key point to take away is that we've been working very closely with private sector digital assets leaders in the past many months to understand what would be needed for them to have a conducive environment to do business. So naturally, after hearing all the feedback, for example, one of the requests from the market is to allow more participation from retail investors. So the significance of today's launch of the enhanced regulatory regime is to open up to the licensed exchanges to allow the retail investors to participate. So this is why this has been capturing a lot of media attention.
Okay, thank you. That's a nice explanation. So let's just go into that a little bit deeper. So how many exchanges are currently licensed in Hong Kong? And if you could just sort of explain the situation now and what's expected to change after June 1st?
Well, the short answer is, as of today, we only have 2 licensed exchanges. Now, and this is because over the past few years, we've been taking a very market-friendly approach by allowing opt-in. So exchanges can opt in to apply for a license, in which 2 of them did. For the other operators, they've been operating without a license. However, with today, enactment of the enhanced regulatory regime, the operators that have been operating in Hong Kong, they'll be giving, before June 1st, they'll be giving the transitional period of 1 year to continue to apply for the enhanced license. So in meantime, they can continue to operate. However, for firms or exchanges that have not been operating in Hong Kong prior to June 1st, 2023, and from this point onwards, they can no longer operate in Hong Kong. Otherwise, there'll be a criminal offense. So they have to apply for a license. Until they get the license approved, they cannot operate.
Okay, so thank you. So I just want to clarify something about retail though, because there was retail trading and investment happening in Hong Kong. It just kind of wasn't official, right? Is that correct? Like my understanding is that there was retail trading in Hong Kong, but it was more sort of like OTC, over the counter, or like Bitcoin ATM. So it was, I think some of the media was a little bit confusing because it said retail trading is coming to Hong Kong, and people who know Hong Kong said, wait, there was already retail trading in Hong Kong. Is that a correct assessment? So my understanding now is sort of retail is being brought under the licensing regime as opposed to retail as being introduced to Hong Kong. Is that the correct way to frame it?
Correct. As I just mentioned, we've been taking a market-friendly approach with the opt-in arrangement before. So therefore, the retail investors, they could participate in the crypto or digital assets trading. Now, by effective June 1st, so as of today onwards, basically only the licensed exchanges will be allowed to offer these services legally to the retail investors in Hong Kong with certain guardrails.
So exactly what retail investors are we talking here? Are they going to be Chinese nationals, or are they only Hong Kong residents? Can they be non-citizens who are residents of Hong Kong? Are they able to open accounts, or who are the guinea pigs in this whole experiment?
Well, this is a great question. I guess simply put, let me just put the customers, retail customers, in two buckets. So naturally, for the Hong Kong retail investors, of course, after meeting certain suitability tests, is essentially put forward by the license exchanges. Then, for those that meet those suitability tests, then under certain guardrails, then they'll be allowed to trade on the license exchanges. Now, for folks who are outside of Hong Kong, just now you mentioned like mainland China and other jurisdictions. So, of course, the principle from our regulator, the SFC, Securities and Futures Commission, is that we have to respect the law and regulations of the various countries. So in the case of mainland China, because cryptocurrency is still banned in mainland, so therefore we are respecting that. So naturally, for license exchanges in Hong Kong, they will have to basically not allow or open this up to mainland. So the way to do it is to check the IP address, and things like that, to make sure that the license exchanges comply to the law. Now, for folks from other jurisdictions, for example, in Southeast Asia, maybe in EU, and so forth, so basically the license exchanges, they also have the obligation to check and comply with the regulations of the countries where the incoming customers are from.
Can a mainland China citizen use it while they're in Hong Kong, or that no, because they're a citizen of China, correct? They cannot use it even if they're in Hong Kong?
Well, I think they are, again, Hong Kong is part of China. And over the past many years, a lot of mainland Chinese would emigrate to Hong Kong. They got Hong Kong permanent residency. So they're just like all of us. So naturally, for those who are mainland Chinese retail customers who are Hong Kong citizens, then yeah, and the funds are in Hong Kong, then because Hong Kong has the free flow of capital anyway, so then they can participate.
Yeah, on the topic of regulation, you brought up the Securities and Futures Commission of Hong Kong. Was the regulatory framework based on anything we've seen come to life internationally?
Well, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't want to make very specific comments. But let me just talk about the principles after talking to the leaders from SFC. Now, at the end of the day, Hong Kong is an international financial center, and we play by international rules. So naturally, our leaders and the team responsible for the design of the virtual asset service provider regulation, they work very closely with the counterparts in other markets. Again, the UK, the Switzerland, the Japan, and so forth, to make sure that they have enough communications so that, it's not like Hong Kong wants to be uniquely different. Only we have certain rules. As a matter of fact, I think based on the inputs I've been hearing from the SFC folks, they are really trying to align with the thinking with other jurisdictions so that, certain players over time can have the regulatory arbitrage. So in short, we are playing by.
Thank you. No, I just have one sort of final question, which is kind of a big question, which is, why is Hong Kong doing this, right? If this was a few years ago, it would be totally make sense. But right now, we're here in the United States, and there's a lot of backlash towards crypto. Countries like the United States and Hong Kong, you could argue, are moving in actually opposite directions, because Hong Kong is sort of cautiously welcoming the crypto industry. The U.S. is not so welcoming, right? So I guess my question is, clearly somebody, Hong Kong regulators, Hong Kong government decided that it is beneficial for Hong Kong to have crypto in Hong Kong in some kind of way. And, there's a lot of media now about Hong Kong emerging as a global crypto hub. So my question is, why? Why does Hong Kong want the crypto industry? What is the benefit for Hong Kong to have crypto be a crypto hub?
Well, again, I'm glad you asked this question. In fact, it's something that we've been trying to get the message across to as many people as possible. Now, the short answer is, again, we are not talking about just crypto. Again, we have to appreciate the fact that the market cap of cryptocurrencies are really worth just 1 trillion, 1.5 trillion. It's not that big. Actually, what we are interested in is the tokenization of all the other assets that can empower the real world economy. So therefore, we talk about the tokenization of bonds, real estates, intellectual properties, like illiquid PE funds and things like that. And you reframe it that way, we're talking about hundreds of trillions of market size. And this is what our government leaders are really going after. So in fact, I think the CEO of BlackRock, Mr. Larry Fink, was interviewed, I believe it was early part of December last year. So even BlackRock, they have come out openly to talk about their assessment of the impact of tokenization of assets as the future of finance. And as an IFC, Hong Kong definitely would like to remain at the forefront of financial innovation. And we see the opening up to tokenization of assets as a way for us to really jumpstart and help us to shift gear to the next higher gear of our financial services sector. So this is really about the bigger picture as opposed to just a tiny bit of cryptocurrencies.
King, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We look forward to seeing how Hong Kong progresses towards their goals. That was King Lung, Invest HK, Head of Financial Services and FinTech. And don't miss our Twitter Spaces on this topic right after First Mover. Emily, you are going to be taking part in that. What can we expect?
Yeah, this is a Twitter space just about exactly what's happening on June 1st in Hong Kong. Please join 10 a.m. One caveat is it is in Chinese, so if you already speak Mandarin Chinese or if you can learn Chinese in the next 40 minutes, come join at 10 a.m. And join our Twitter space. It's fun. CoinDesk Chinese is hosting this.